Have you ever had one of those quiet evenings, just sitting there in your favorite chair? Maybe the TV's on, but you're not really watching, and your mind starts to wander? Maybe you catch yourself thinking about things you never used to question, like your body, your health, and yes, your private life. You might wonder, is this normal at my age? Should I still be doing this? And by this, I mean something we don't often talk about, especially not openly, but it's time we do. Because here's the truth, masturbation, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, is not only normal, it might actually be one of the simplest ways to take care of your prostate health. Surprised? You're not alone. Most people don't realize the kind of impact regular sexual activity, whether with a partner or solo, can have on the prostate, especially as we age. But once you hear what really happens inside your body, I promise you'll never think about it the same way again. Let's talk plainly. As men get older, the prostate becomes a bit of a troublemaker. It grows, stiffens, and can even cause problems like frequent urination, weak flow, or that annoying feeling like you didn't quite empty the tank. Sound familiar? That's called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, and it's incredibly common. Nearly every man over 60 starts feeling some of these symptoms, and yet very few of us talk about what might help reduce the risks or slow it down. Even fewer want to bring up masturbation as a possible ally. But here's the thing. Science is catching up to what some men have quietly known for decades. That regular ejaculation, especially through masturbation, may actually reduce the risk of prostate issues. I know it might feel odd to hear that out loud, but let's break it down in a way that just makes sense. You see, the prostate isn't just sitting there doing nothing. It plays a vital role in producing seminal fluid. When you go for long periods without ejaculating, the fluid can build up. Think of it like a garden hose that hasn't been used in months. Things get a bit stagnant, and over time, that can lead to inflammation or irritation. But when you release that pressure now and then, yes, even by yourself, you're giving the prostate a bit of a flush, a clean out, a moment of relief. It's like running the water to keep it fresh. One study from Harvard, yes, the same Harvard, tracked thousands of men over decades and found that those who ejaculated more frequently had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. We're not talking about anything extreme here, just 3 to 5 times a week. For many men, that's a perfectly comfortable rhythm. And what's even better? It's on your terms, no appointments, no pills, just you and your own sense of well-being. Now, let's take this out of the scientific journal and bring it into the living room. If you've ever felt like your body was slowing down, like your mood just wasn't what it used to be, or you weren't sleeping as well, believe it or not, the answer might be hidden in that same natural release. Masturbation helps the body release a flood of feel-good hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, your brain's own brand of happiness. These chemicals don't just improve your mood, they can help you relax, fall asleep faster, and even lower stress levels, which is key when you're dealing with any kind of chronic condition, including prostate problems. And here's something most men never hear. When you engage in this private act, you're also giving your pelvic floor muscles a mini workout. That's right. Those same muscles that help control your bladder and bowel movements, and yes, even your performance in the bedroom, get a little bit stronger every time you finish the job. Think of it like low-impact resistance training for your core, but the part no one sees. This isn't about turning back the clock or pretending we're 25 again. It's about feeling connected to your body in a way that feels good, healthy, and natural. And that connection, especially after 60, can be incredibly empowering. Too many men fall into the trap of thinking, well, that chapter of my life is over, just because of age. But the truth is, your body is still very much capable and craving that release, that stimulation, that sense of aliveness. And let's not forget another important detail. Regular ejaculation can also help reduce congestion in the prostate. Just like any organ in the body, if it gets backed up, problems can start to build. Whether it's inflammation, pressure, or discomfort, masturbation helps clear things out. It's like doing maintenance on a classic car. You keep it running smoother for longer and you avoid the expensive breakdowns. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't that just something younger men care about? And I want to tell you directly, absolutely not. In fact, it's even more important as you age, because now, more than ever, keeping your body functioning well means preserving your independence, your comfort, and your dignity. And if something as simple as masturbation can help with that, why not embrace it? We've covered a lot already, from the science of prostate health to how this private act can bring real, physical benefits. But we're just getting started. Because the real magic happens when you begin to listen to your body, not with embarrassment or shame, but with curiosity and kindness. Now that we've opened the door to this topic, let's keep walking through it. There's still so much more to understand about what this habit does for your health, your hormones, and your overall quality of life. And if you're still with me, that tells me one thing loud and clear. You're open. Open to learning, to caring for yourself in new ways, and maybe even to rethinking what aging really means. And that's something to be proud of. Now, let's keep this conversation going. We've already touched on how masturbation supports the prostate by helping clear out congestion and reduce buildup. But that's just scratching the surface, because what's going on isn't just physical, it's also deeply tied to how you feel emotionally, mentally, and even socially. Let's start with something most people overlook: hormones. After 60, a man's testosterone naturally declines. That's no secret. You might notice a drop in drive, both sexual and otherwise. Maybe you don't wake up with the same kind of energy. Maybe you feel a little less motivated, a little more flat. That's not in your head. It's your chemistry. But here's the amazing part. Regular sexual activity, including masturbation, can help stimulate your body to continue producing testosterone at healthier levels. It's like sending a message to your system that says, "Hey, I still need this. Let's keep things flowing." That little act of release becomes a message to your body that you're still alive, still engaged, still here. And when testosterone levels get a gentle boost, you may feel it in surprising ways. You might feel more focused. You might sleep better. Your mood might lift. And yes, you might even notice an increase in that good old spark, that sense of vitality that makes you want to get up and do something with your day. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a part of this conversation that's almost never talked about: the emotional connection to touch. As we age, touch becomes less frequent. Maybe your partner is no longer with you, or maybe intimacy just isn't what it used to be. But your skin, your nervous system, your heart, they don't stop needing touch. And self-touch, done with kindness and care, is a way of saying to yourself, "I still matter. My comfort matters. My pleasure matters." That act of self-connection isn't just about release. It's about maintaining a relationship with your own body, one that's rooted in respect rather than regret. Now, let's take this back to the body for a second. We talked about prostate congestion earlier, but there's another huge factor that often gets ignored: inflammation. Many of the prostate issues older men face are worsened by chronic inflammation. This can come from diet, stress, lack of movement, and yes, from poor circulation in the pelvic region. But guess what? Masturbation, especially when done regularly, helps increase blood flow, oxygenate tissues, and keep things more flexible and responsive down there. Think of it as movement for your inner systems. When blood flows, healing flows. When there's circulation, there's less inflammation. Even your immune system benefits. That post-orgasm state isn't just relaxation, it's your body entering a kind of mini reboot mode. It reduces cortisol, your stress hormone, and boosts those feel-good endorphins that are so important for immune function. Some studies have even shown that regular sexual activity, including masturbation, can lead to stronger immune responses in older adults. And let's be honest, at this stage in life, a stronger immune system is always welcome. Let's not forget what it does for sleep. So many older adults struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep. You might find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. and staring at the ceiling. It's frustrating and it takes a toll. But after orgasm, the body releases a hormone called prolactin. This is what makes you feel that warm, sleepy calm. It's nature's built-in sleep aid, no prescription required. And yes, there are those out there who might scoff and say, "At my age, what's the point?" But let me ask you something. What age does self-care stop being important? What number makes you too old to enjoy your body, to feel good, to experience a little pleasure and peace? The truth is, there isn't one. You don't stop being human when you turn 60, 70, or 80. You don't stop deserving to feel well just because the calendar flipped a few dozen times. That's the real heart of this conversation. Masturbation isn't just a physical act. It's a statement. A statement that says, I care enough about myself to keep going, to keep connecting, to keep living fully. And when you think about it that way, it's not silly, it's not shameful, it's powerful. You're allowed to enjoy the body you're in. You're allowed to find comfort in it. You're allowed to seek relief, even if no one's around to see it or talk about it. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to listen to that quiet voice in your own heart that says, this matters to me. And here's the thing. When you take care of yourself in this way, you start showing up differently in other areas of your life. You feel a bit more confident. You carry yourself with more ease. You speak a little more kindly to yourself. And other people feel that. Whether it's your children, your friends, your neighbors, they notice that glow, that groundedness, even if they don't know where it's coming from. So, if you've ever second-guessed whether you should keep this part of your life alive, I want you to remember this. Your body still works in amazing ways. Your pleasure still has power. Your prostate still needs attention. And yes, your choices still make a difference. Let's keep leaning into that power, because the more we understand what's happening inside our bodies, the more freedom we have to care for them in ways that truly matter. And by now, you might be seeing this in a whole new light. Maybe you've gone from feeling unsure or even embarrassed about the topic to realizing just how natural and beneficial it really is. And that's the beauty of this kind of conversation. It brings things into the open. It replaces silence with understanding and shame with self-respect. Now, let's finish this journey together. We've talked about the physical benefits, the hormonal balance, the emotional well-being, and yes, the very real improvements in prostate health that come from regular, healthy masturbation. But there's one more piece we can't leave out: mental clarity and self-confidence. You see, when a man feels connected to his body, even later in life, he tends to carry himself differently. There's less tension, less internal conflict. There's a quiet kind of self-acceptance that begins to settle in. And from that place, all kinds of good things can happen. You might feel more open to socializing again. You might find it easier to focus on hobbies, conversations, or even tackling that pile of books you've been meaning to read. Why? Because your mind isn't clouded with stress, shame, or unexpressed needs. You've given yourself permission to simply be. That kind of peace has a ripple effect. And there's something else, something many men don't even realize is happening until they look back. Masturbation helps you stay in touch with your body's signals. You begin to notice changes earlier. Is there more pressure in the pelvic area than usual? Does something feel different with the flow of your urine? Any discomfort or odd sensations? Being in touch with your sexual function helps you catch those little red flags sooner, and that means you can talk to your doctor before something small turns into something serious. That kind of awareness? That's priceless. And let's not pretend this is always easy. For many older adults, there's a lifetime of messaging to unlearn. Maybe you were raised in a time where sex was never discussed, where pleasure was tied up with guilt, where good men didn't talk about such things, much less take them into their own hands. But here's what I want you to know. You are not too old to heal that part of your story. You're not too late to rewrite the script in your own mind and body. Your past doesn't have to dictate your present. You get to decide what's right for you based on your body now, your needs now, your wisdom now. Because here's the bottom line. Keeping your sexual function alive in some form is a part of keeping your whole self alive. It's not about chasing youth. It's not about proving anything. It's about staying connected to your health, your pleasure, and your sense of agency. Even if you're not sexually active with a partner, that doesn't mean this part of you has to go quiet. On the contrary, solo pleasure can be a deeply healing, private, and empowering experience. It can be a ritual of self-care, a way to reduce pain or stress, a way to fall asleep more peacefully, or just a simple act of giving yourself some kindness. There's no rule book here, no timer running out, no one watching the clock or keeping score. You get to define what aging well means to you. And if masturbation plays a part in supporting your prostate, boosting your hormones, clearing your mind, and helping you sleep better, then I say, embrace it. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing something right. So if you've been holding back, maybe because of old beliefs or uncertainty or just not knowing the facts, this is your reminder. You can start now. You can give yourself permission. You can create a new, healthier relationship with your own body starting today. You might be surprised at what happens when you do. Not just physically, but emotionally. You might smile a little more. You might walk a little lighter. You might even catch your reflection in the mirror and think, you know what? I've still got it. Because you do. Aging isn't about shrinking. It's not about giving up on yourself. It's about getting clearer about what really matters and choosing to invest your energy there. And if this video helped you see yourself in a kinder light, then I want to thank you for being here, for being open, for taking the time to care about your health in such a personal, meaningful way. If any of this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. You're not alone, and your story matters more than you know. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give the video a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more honest, empowering content just like this. Because we're not done growing, we're not done healing, and we're certainly not done living fully, not even close. Here's to honoring your body, trusting your instincts, and embracing life at any age. You've earned that right. You really have.